Avatar is a show that revolves around balance. It is the glue that holds every aspect of the story together. Balance is how we see characters grow in maturity and strength. Balance is the goal that drives the plot, and balance is the foundation that the world is built upon. While all this is important for delivering a profound, unforgettable, and cathartic story, Avatar never spells out what balance is or how it is achieved. Instead, Avatar shows us and trusts its audience to define balance, find balance, and apply its philosophy to our lives.
Come on out, little lemur. That hungry guy won't bother you anymore.
Very early on in Avatar, we watch Aang's lack of control over the Avatar state. The most significant example of this is when Aang comes face to face with his deceased master, the man he loved most before his 100-year hibernation.
Your aim has improved greatly, my young pupil.
In a fit of despair, rage, and loneliness, Aang loses balance over his mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual nature and enters the Avatar state. He is no longer in control of his emotions, but his emotions control him, preventing him from seeing what's right in front of him: the love, joy, and companionship found in his new friends, Sokka and Katara. Consequently, Aang demolishes a building, but even worse, he puts Sokka and Katara in danger. By being out of balance, Aang is distressed, and his distress causes the world around him to be in peril. Aang in this scene shows imbalance and the chaos that ensues because of it. In contrast, when Aang is in balance, he is even able to spare the vilest man in the world. Aang, throughout his final showdown with Ozai, exemplifies balance. Not only is this shown expertly through his ability to control all four elements masterfully, but more importantly, by how he deals with Ozai throughout the fight. Aang knows at the start of the fight he's about to be confronted by the man who is responsible for all the suffering in the world, yet he pleads for peace.
Please listen to me. We don't have to fight. You have the power to end it here and stop what you're doing.
You are right. I do have the power. I have all the power in the world!
Aang is not consumed by the negative emotions that caused him to hurt the world around him. Instead, Aang sees with eyes unclouded by hate. In the past, like on the mountain, it was always a sense of rage or fear that induced the Avatar state, causing Aang to create chaos all around him. But this time, it is notoriously caused by a rock. At first, Aang's transition to the Avatar state seems intimidating, dangerous, and powerful, and makes us fear that he will cause the damage he has caused in the past when he was in the Avatar state.
Forefathers have devastated the balance of this world, and now you shall pay the ultimate price!
But when it seems like he has succumbed to the control of the Avatar state, he lets up. He does not allow his emotions, his spirit, or his mind to control his actions. Instead, Aang controls his emotions, his spirit, and his actions by releasing the Avatar state. Aang no longer needs help from Katara's mother-like love to release him from the Avatar state, because now he is in control of it. He is able to free himself from the past Avatar's wishes to treat Ozai with absolute justice and cruelty. And instead, Aang gets to choose to treat Ozai with justice and mercy. By using spirit bending, Aang takes away Ozai's bending and frees the world of its greatest source of imbalance. Aang in this final fight with Ozai personifies balance. Aang shows that balance in Avatar is the state of being where we are at our most powerful and where we are in control of our mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical states, allowing us to make decisions that benefit the world around us, creating peace. We see Aang's development clearly between these two contrasting scenes, but how did Aang go from an uncontrolled mess to a balanced savior? In Season 2, Episode 9, titled Bitter Work, Iroh explains how balance can be achieved in the world of Avatar, and essentially what Aang does to become a fully realized Avatar.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale.
Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.
Iroh's wisdom in this scene is a display of what Avatar is about. Iroh asserts balance in Avatar is achieved through understanding others, the elements, and their nations. No episode in Avatar better demonstrates how this is achieved because during this episode, we get both Aang and Zuko learning about the element opposite of their nature. Aang is an airbender. He is free-spirited, passive, and seeks the path of least resistance. The opposite of earthbenders, who are grounded, assertive, and push through obstacles in their path. Throughout the episode, Aang struggles with fighting through his natural opposite, learning to master something he is naturally not gifted to learn. Aang needs to understand the mind of an earthbender to also understand earthbending. He needs to start taking challenges head first, which is what he ends up doing. Aang is forced to think and act like an earthbender to save Sokka, and he ends up using airbending like earthbending. In doing so, Aang learns to become an earthbender, becoming more powerful, more whole, and more balanced. Unlike Aang, who is destined to learn how to master the 4 elements, Zuko represents us in this episode. Although Zuko cannot master or use any of the other bending forms, he can become stronger through understanding others, their elements, and their nations, and he too is faced with his natural opposite, waterbending. To become stronger, Zuko learns lightning redirection, a technique Iroh developed by observing waterbenders. Unlike Aang, we never see Zuko use what he's learned in this episode. Firebenders have an intense will to fulfill desires and tasks, and so Zuko naturally wants to know if he is able to actually redirect lightning. But he hasn't realized the point of the training, which is to understand others, the other elements, and the other nations. He is trying to force his will to happen, the opposite of what a waterbender would do. A waterbender would go with the flow. A waterbender would only use lightning redirection when it is deemed necessary, which is why we don't see Zuko use lightning redirection until he ends up confronting his father.
Banished. So she's alive.
Perhaps. Now I realize that banishment is far too merciful a penalty for treason. Your penalty will be far steeper.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Both Aang and Zuko in this episode, by being forced to learn through their natural opposite, become more whole. By learning the elements of other nations, they better understand the other nations' people and their customs. Aang now has become a step closer to being a fully realized Avatar, and Zuko is a step closer to fulfilling his true destiny. Both Zuko and Aang become more balanced in this episode, and in doing so become closer to who they are designed to be. That is because when we are balanced, we are who we are supposed to be. Aang and Zuko in Bitter Work perfectly exemplify how we should act in the real world. The world of Avatar is an analogy of our own. Each nation is literally based on a different nation in the real world, such as Ba Sing Se in China, but it goes beyond that. Each nation in Avatar acts as a distinct place, with its own cultures and customs that are represented by the various forms of bending. Think back to how the city of Omashu revolves entirely around earthbending. The elements themselves characterize the people of each nation as well. Earthbenders are enduring, yet brash.
Do you have what it takes to face that rock like an earthbender?
Airbenders are free-spirited, yet passive.
Hey, Katara. I didn't see you there. Hey, Aang. That's okay. I'm busy with my own stuff.
Firebenders are determined, yet angry.
Come on, answer it.
I'm angry at myself!
And waterbenders are fluid,
These are my grandkids.
Hi, June Pippin Paddleopsicopoulos. Nice to meet you.
yet apathetic.
Stop teasing him, Sokka. Aang's just a good friend. A sweet little guy.
All of Avatar's protagonists throughout the show expose themselves to this abundant world that is reflective of our own, so that they can become more balanced. Each character shows each bending style's greatest strength and weakness, but by learning about others are able to reduce their weaknesses and augment their strengths, becoming more whole. Avatar is giving us a call to accept others, but more importantly, to learn from others. We live in a world with so many distinct nations, people, philosophies, and cultures, all with their respective problems, but all with their respective truths. Each facet of this world gives us something that we can learn from. If we only take wisdom from where we are from, things will become rigid and stale. But if we venture to diverse places and take the time to learn from them, we may just become more powerful, more controlled, and most importantly, more balanced. Go see, experience, and learn new things. As Iroh said, it is the combination of the 4 elements in one person that makes the Avatar so strong, but it can make you stronger too. Put differently, by learning from different people, philosophies, and cultures, you can become more balanced. It won't be easy, but as Season 2, Episode 9 suggests, it will be bitter work.